Patreon subscribers, we'll start at the dollar yen because it's very bonkers. So potentially we could be seeing a reversal, but we have to remember that the yield's really pumped. And if the yield's pumped, then it's going to boost this particular currency pair, especially the 10-year. If the 10-year rises, then it's going to push this up. So you've got to be careful if you're short in the dollar yen. You do need to be checking your government bonds, which you can be seeing on TradingView. Just just add your, the yields are strong. So because they're green, that should indicate a strong USD. Euro pound's interesting actually. Just noticed, so that got to target. If you remember the analysis in the Euro channel in Discord, so that's of note. So that might help the pound. So look for potentially, if we do see these go red, then the dollar should weaken, and then you can look for a GU long potentially, because that's hit resistance, and so that might bolster a strong pound. And you look at the pound, I think it might come down here. Alright, so be careful. And let's go back to the dollar yen. So the stop loss cluster is 135.11. One below is 133.65. And we have taken a lot of stops out on the way. We took the stops out above, and then we rated them below. And so it's just pretty horrible, really. So that's off note, 135.09. The reason why we started the dollar yen is because I wanted to tell you about the yields, and also the fact we've really overdone it on the ATR long. We started the week here. That's your target. We went up here just to hound and hunt these guys and take their stops out. So that's the order book just got refreshed. So potentially you could look for a short there, but you'd want to be really careful, and you don't really want to be shorting it when the yields are pumping. Not particularly. You'd be fighting a huge headwind, because this is like big fish positionings. You don't want to be fighting these guys. Wait until they've gone red, and then look to short the dollar yen. Okay, especially the 10-year. Okay, where are we? Which one? This one. So that's that. So let's look at gold, because gold has been very interesting, and we are we're sort of looks like we're trying to cover bottom, like I said in the video in Discord. The sellers are in control, but we might have an interchange. We had a sell candle here, which we can see, which we can map. So there, 1827 is going to be a bit of a challenge. Now this is off note because this was a bullish development, but yet we fell. We did have a little test of it, but yet we fell. So currently a little bit of resistance here on this candle. We'll draw the thingy. This one. So this is a resistance. Oh, well, you get the idea. It's supposed to map that one, but you get the idea. So the sellers came in here, but the buyers were very dominant, but yet we fell anyway. So it might be the yield related. Note that ATR short. Your weekly open here. That's your weekly target. We have exceeded the weekly target. Stop loss cluster is 1815. One above 1845. And so that's the level of note. This is where we want to be seeing where we close today. And they've gone quite long on their sentiment. So we chopped quite a bit on gold. Yeah, so they went long. Price fell, kind of. They shorted it. We went sideways, so that's probably a bit of a clue. And then they shorted it. We come up. And they went long. So that's that. So all about the daily and weekly close. If we close above, then it could be quite bullish. If we close below, it's going to be quite bearish. So the 1836, okay. Come back to this. Might be worth showing you a gold chart actually. Zoom out. So H4. Oh yeah, H4 maybe. So it's saying that's your resistance. It's saying 1817 is support. Look where the stop loss cluster is. Alright, so 1814. So this is a shift channel bottom on gold. 1817. Stop loss cluster there. So we really on the H4, we've got an ascending channel. So and that's the bottom of the support at the SLC. Alright, so could see a bounce there potentially. You can see how we made that angle. We map that across. We can see how my computer needs formatting. I think it's too slow. But 1817 is obviously key. You can see I've got a double confluence there, the stop loss cluster and the shift channel bottom. It's kind of annoying. You get the idea. So that might hold. So be careful. If we break that, we'll get to 1802. There'll be a ton of stops down there, no doubt, because they like to step in at round numbers. So that's of note. We've got a double confluence at 1817.16. A close above 1836 is going to be important. And you can see how it's the median line as well. So that's your yearly pivot, the weekly ATR, and the H4 median line, 1834. So that's a big key level, 1834, 35, 36, 37 area. Above that, then it's going to be quite bullish. Below, it could be quite bearish, and we could probably target 1802 and beyond. Especially if we've got a shift channel break on H4, because these are quite good, quite strong levels. So it could be technically quite bearish if we break that. And so that's gold. Come back. Let's look at your majors. EU, EU, GU. So dollar yen. You know, we've really exceeded it as well. There's your target for a short. EU, one below is at 68.05. One above is quite large at 68.69. Weekly open, you know, target ATR short. We're nearly there. Taking out a lot of stops in the process. It was just a big harvesting of stop loss clusters. Just basically hunted people down, hunting them down. As they're constantly absorbing their stops. And it's kind of sideways on the sentiment. So potentially here, grab that for a bounce. It's EU. People were trying to do technical analysis on EU this week, and they're trying to do like a wave count on it. I just thought it was absolutely bonkers because it's not really doing much at all. You can't really use wave counts to project where price is going to go. It's better to use the sentiment. You can see how sideways we are, you know, so we know that we're going to be fairly choppy on the technicals just by looking at the sentiment. If we're sideways, there's not going to be a driver to push things unless it just wants stops, which is what it did there. There's your HR target long, stop loss cluster probe, down we fell. It looks like we might do a similar, oh no, we probably won't today actually, it's a bit too far, 80 pips. I mean, that's where the stop loss cluster is, so 106.18, one above is 107.35. So potentially down here, I mean, realistically we can because it's the ATR, it's your average true range. So yeah, that's where we started. We went to the ATR target long, rated stops. Could theoretically come down there, but it is Friday. We haven't got much time left, so it is a potential scenario. Grab those stops and then come down to the technical resistance. Maybe. I'm kind of glad I'm not trading this one. GU, and might be that pound is doing okay-ish. There's your monthly support. Okay, so 119.56. You could look for a long to target the stop loss cluster. Weekly open. So we've done that. Wow, it's crazy moves really. There's your ATR target long, which we got to. Rated stops. Fell all the way down. ATR target short. So crazy week basically, and very choppy. All the way up. And just hounded those people down to hound these people and potentially to take their stops as well. So potential scenario, just raid them and then for a bounce because we've got the technical support. So that could be a likely scenario. Stop loss cluster raid for a bounce. It's just horrible really. And yeah, dollar CAD could look at, I guess. We didn't look at it yesterday because it was really choppy. Probably going to be surging. Yeah, wow, look at that. One above, 135.25. One below is at 134.69. And there's your monthly resistance 1, which is a possibility. It's not that strange to get to MR1. What is strange is when we get beyond MR3, which is bonkers. But we have seen it happen. We saw it on the dollar yen, for example, a couple of months ago. So that's that's the very extreme where I'd imagine price to go. But R1's possible, 135.60, 55 pips away. It's possible, isn't it? So got to be careful. Dollar Swiss. If you want us to look at cross yen, do say, because I don't get any requests. I assume that it's okay not to do it. SLC completely raided. So where do we start in the week? HR target long. We nearly hit the HR target short. Just that's rubber band basically. So where the new one is, you'll have to get the indicators from FX SSI to see where the new stop loss cluster is going to be. But if it's above the HR long, it probably might just do that and then down. So that's probably what's going to happen. Is that they're going to move their stops potentially higher. Then price will go up to raid their stops, have technical resistance, and then we'll come back down again. So it's really cruel and horrible. And so done dollar yen, and that's it. So I'll wrap up now. Things are moving a hell of a lot. The fundamentals are in for a strong USD. This has increased a lot. The likelihood of a 50 basis point hike has increased substantially. We've got a strong USD, and sentimentals are in as well. If we show you the failure rate, and they've shorted dollar a lot. By selling it, price comes up. And iron that VIX, of course, if we go below 20, that's going to be fairly risk on. And you can see how gold has shifted a lot as well for a sell. So be really careful. And I will speak to you guys potentially on Sunday if we get the COT data, which I assume should have been fixed by now. But if not, then I'll speak to you guys on Monday. Have a great one and enjoy yourselves and have a nice beer on me. I'll speak to you guys soon.